sports fans? Welcome to the Armchair View. I'm Tony Jemison, and on my side right here is my co-host Kevin Richardson. Today we're going to start off our show by talking about one of our favorite sports, the NFL. Let's recap last week's games. Kevin, what's up with those Giants? They lost again, 27-21 to the Bears. This is on the heels of losing last week to the Eagles. What's going on?
I don't know. You know, Tony, to me, it looks like Eli, I'm going to be honest with you, I think some girl's blowing his mind.
Okay.
He's out on the field. He looks like he doesn't know what's going on. And when he's throwing the ball, he's just throwing it and like running away with his eyes closed.
Yeah, I mean, 14 for 26. I mean, hardly any yards, one TD. The sports fans in New York are saying, well, he's not getting the protection. He's getting it. It's just that I agree with you. Somebody's doing something to him because he is just not operating. He's just not doing a good job.
Right.
So do you think they're going to win the game?
They're going to win the game eventually. I think the Giants usually start slow anyway, but they've never started this slow before. 0-6,
Cav?
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to. They'd have to win all the remaining games to make the playoffs, and I don't see it.
Hey, Tony, I'm going to just say this. They're in the NFC East.
That's true.
You know,
the Giants, the Redskins.
Right.
That's a good point. Anything can happen.
You win your conference, you still make the playoffs.
All right.
You know, I'm not going to rule them out yet.
What about my man Tom Brady and the New England Patriots? 13-6. Brady's TD streak snapped. What's going on with them? You know he's complaining about his receivers. I saw one thing where it said his body language just indicates that he can't stand his receivers.
Wow.
But they're young guys. Is it their fault?
No, not their fault. I mean, if he's supposed to be a team leader, he needs to lead. This is the time where he needs to show his leadership.
Exactly.
They should have kept Welker.
They should have kept Welker.
At least him.
They should have kept him.
But in some games, like they're getting in the flow, but it looks they need Gronkowski back.
They do.
You know,
they do.
That's going to help them.
And the Aaron Hernandez situation didn't help them at all.
Not at all.
Let me ask you this: if Aaron Hernandez is found not guilty, would you take him back if you're Belichick?
That's a good question. I may.
I think I would.
Not this season.
Not this season.
Yeah. I'd give him a chance. I'd give him a shot again.
Yeah, I'd give him a shot.
I'd give him a shot again.
So they're 4-1. Those 4 wins, smoke screen, or are they a legitimate contender?
No, they're not a contender. Not at all.
Not my Patriots.
Not this year. And I like the Patriots. And I like Brady.
Usually I would have to disagree with you, Kev, but I love the Patriots.
So you think they're going to do something?
No, I'm going to say.
Okay.
I love them, but you got to be realistic. They're just not that good.
Right.
So let's move on from them. Denver and Dallas, 51-48, but they're saying Tony Romo's the reason why they lost, because he threw the interception late in the game. Come on, Kev. If we put up 48 points, my wife could lead the team to victory. 48 points? What's up with the defense?
I mean, you should win, but you know that's a Tony Romo move. He's going to throw an interception in the game. It was just at the wrong time.
But is it his fault that they lost?
No.
Okay.
Defense just didn't play.
And speaking of defense, Denver, don't see it, brother. I don't see it. They scored 51 points, but they gave up 48. And throughout the season, if you look at their wins, they've given up a lot of points.
Well, that's how they're winning.
Right.
Well, Peyton Manning, he got to outscore people at this point. You know, because defense isn't shutting anybody down. Teams are scoring 30, 40 points on them. So if you can just slow Peyton down a little bit, and you score a lot of points, you got a chance of beating them.
Do you think they're going to go undefeated?
Nah, not at all. Once the weather changes in Denver, things are going to change. I'm pretty sure.
As we talked about before, they don't have a dome.
Right.
And as the weather gets colder, receivers' hands get colder. They've got to catch the ball more with their chest. It's a lot more difficult. And Manning throws hard.
Right.
And when it's cold out, that ball feels even harder. You play football. You know how that works.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a big difference.
It's going to be a big difference.
They're not even going to want the ball, the receivers.
Now I'm going to tell you somebody who I'm impressed with, my man Drew Brees. They're 5-0, and everybody in the NFC is talking about your man Kaepernick, RG3, who should have stayed out this year, Russell Wilson. But Drew Brees, the old man, he's leading the Saints. Will he keep it up?
I think they will. You know, they got their head coach back, which is surprising that makes a big difference, you know, because they got the same team.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, he makes that much of a difference, but they're going to keep it up.
Okay.
I think so. And the tight end, Graham, he's just
he's killing them. He's killing
at least 2 or 3 touchdowns every week.
Now, you know they play the Patriots this weekend. Who's going to win?
Breeze. Saints, man.
New England's
Why you say that,
They're coming back. Brady's pissed. They're coming back and they're playing New England, Kevin. It's a little cold up there this weekend.
Okay.
Breeze is all pampered in New Orleans with the pretty dome, you know.
That's okay.
That's okay. Okay, we're going to see.
Look at the defense.
We're going to see. How about you and I bet $1 on that game?
Okay, we got $1 bet.
All right, okay. In fact, I'll tell you what. If they do win, I'll let you be the lead host next week.
Okay, gotcha.
Nah, it's not going to happen. I'm just messing around. But we got a bet?
Just give me my $1.
All right, what do you think about Geno Smith, Kev?
I like him. I don't know if he's just hot right now.
Okay.
He's playing well. I got to give it to him.
He led him back against Atlanta.
He's done it twice.
He's done it twice as a rookie.
So I'm gonna give him his credit. And he doesn't really have any weapons to work with.
No, he doesn't. Now Sanchez just had season-ending surgery. You think he's done in New York?
No, I think they'll bring him back.
Will he get his starting job back?
Nah, I don't think so.
I don't think so either.
It's going to be a situation where Geno has to get hurt and he comes in.
But Kev, you know the rule in football. You don't generally use your job to an injury. So, should by rights, by the moral code in the NFL, should he get his job back?
No, Geno beat him out. Geno's beating him out. I mean, it's just that simple.
That's true too. Geno did beat him out before he got hurt.
Right.
That is true. Right. And even if he didn't beat him out, the NFL is about making money.
Yeah.
And Sanchez was not winning. They weren't making any money. And he was there by default because who they have last year? Tebow.
Right.
And then I don't know whoever else they had at quarterback.
Right.
So they kind of had to have him there. But Geno's doing a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Doing a good job. The Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs, 5-0. What do you think?
Coach makes a difference.
Andy Reid.
Your
man Andy Reid. Yeah. Philly. That's right, your man.
Yeah.
He made a big difference.
Makes a big difference.
I think he's had a good impression on Alex Smith.
Mm-hmm.
And that defense, but that's Andy Reid.
Right.
That defense, oh man.
Well, don't forget the defense had like 7 or 8 All-Pros last year.
Right.
So, they always had a defense. They just had to get an offense together.
And now Alex Smith, you know who he reminds me of? What was the guy who was a quarterback of the Ravens when they won the Super Bowl the first time?
Oh, he's the
Dilfer?
Dilfer. Trent.
Yeah, Alex Smith. What they want him to do is not mess up the game.
Don't make any mistakes.
Just manage the game, which is what he's doing. And so they're doing a good job.
Right.
Are they going to stay undefeated, okay?
Nah.
Are there going to be any teams undefeated?
No.
You don't think
teams are going to lose, like Seattle lost.
Yeah, Seattle.
So it's eventually coming.
Okay.
Rather have it now than when it comes to the playoffs.
Right. All right. Here in Baltimore, the Ravens. Now, you're not a big Ravens fan, and neither am I. But, for the hometown people, we have to talk about the Ravens.
We'll talk about it.
All right. They beat the Dolphins, and they play Green Bay this week. What do you think? In Baltimore.
In Baltimore. I'm going to tell you now, Green Bay is going to be throwing bombs on them.
Aaron Rodgers is going to be throwing.
Because I think they lost last week, so they're trying to get back.
They did.
Flacco doesn't really impress me.
Me either.
All that money to me is going to waste. He's throwing interceptions, couple every game.
But Kev, I'm gonna play devil's advocate here for a moment. I'm with you. I don't really care for Flacco, but it's kind of difficult when your offense, your rushers are only gaining 77 yards per game. So now teams know he has to throw.
Right.
And then when you have to throw, now that's what you gear your coverage towards. So is it all his fault?
Well, he's getting $120 million. I don't care what you say.
I think you're going to say that. And I'm with you. He's getting $120 million.
You got to make it happen.
You make it happen. He need to get in their faces and say, you better run the daggone ball.
Yeah.
Right. That's what he needs to do. So
on the lineman. They need to, first of all, give Rice the ball more. They don't give the ball enough.
And I think Baltimore fans need to get over Anquan Bolden's not coming back. Every week I hear, if we only had Bolden, well, you don't have him, Baltimore. He's gone. He's not coming back. He's not. He's not the Wizard of Oz. You just can't go behind the curtain and say, bring him back, bring him back. He's done.
So I'm just going to say this.
Okay.
Flacco could have sacrificed $3 million.
I agree.
Just to bring him back.
Why didn't he do that?
Greed.
$3 million. That's all he had to do, and you have your man.
Right.
But I tell you what, Kevin, even if Bolden had come back, I still don't see him in the same team as last year. They missed Ray Lewis.
Oh, yes.
Not so much because of his play, because his play had declined. So did Ed Reed. But they missed that leadership. They have no leader.
None.
Who leads on the defense?
None.
Suggs?
Not really.
Nah. He's too busy getting hit in the head with... Was it him that got hit in the head? No, which one got hit in the head with the champagne bottle?
Oh, Jacoby.
Okay, I'm wrong. I'm sorry. Baltimore, I'm sorry. But there's no leadership. If Ray Lewis had been there, that would have never happened.
Right. And Ray made a comment about that too.
I know he did.
He's like, and they got mad because he made the comment, which is the truth.
Ray said they have no leadership.
And he's right.
He's right. They have none. They have none. All right, now we're going to talk about your team.
Yes.
The Eagles. They won last week with Vic on the bench. You know what I say? Keep him on the bench.
Nah. No. Three-tone, no.
Yeah.
How you going to keep Mike on the bench? On the bench.
Foles came in. They wasn't winning when Mike was out there playing.
Yeah, but when Foles comes in, the offense is limited to what they can do. Because Foles can't run.
Okay.
And they can't run that offense like they want to. Only Vic can get in there because he's fast. He can run.
Okay.
He can flick the ball when he needs to.
Okay.
Don't get me wrong. Foles played a good game last week, but the offense still isn't the same.
But, Kev, at the end of the day, only one letter in the alphabet counts.
What's that?
W.
Okay. Well, put it this way. When Mike's ready, he'll be back.
Is he going to play this week?
No, I wouldn't play him.
I wouldn't play him.
Not against Tampa Bay. They don't need him.
They don't need him. They should be Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
But I agree with you. I'm just messing with you.
Foles
Foles is a decent player, but he just. This is the Armchair View. I'm your host, Tony Jemison, my co-host, Kevin Richardson, and we are back talking about a hot topic in the news. Jets tight end Kellen Winslow has been suspended 4 games for a PED violation. He's actually the second Jet. Running back Goodwin was also suspended for the same thing. PEDs, Kev. He's about to lose $197,647 in salary. My question, though, is everybody's doing this in the NFL. Is this a problem or not? What do you think?
I mean, they're making it a problem, but they need to remember that these guys, their bodies break down. So these growth hormones, I mean, they need to take to rebuild their bodies up.
Right.
Week after week after week, you're taking all these hits. Your body's going to break down.
So let me ask you this. Should it be left up to the players?
No, but the league should give them some leeway on what they can take.
Okay.
Growth hormones,
all right.
It's out there, so evidently, people are using it.
Okay. And Kellen Winslow, I'm not surprised. Remember, his career was in the toilet.
Right.
He got revived with the Jets. They signed him for 1 year. He had vowed he's going to catch 100 passes this year. So he's leading the team in receptions. He's doing everything necessary to keep that career going. I think he's 31 or 32, which Kev, is a short shelf life. That's an old man in football.
Pretty much.
So he's trying to do everything that's necessary. Again, though, does the league have an obligation, though, to the fans, to the kids, to say, look, drugs are wrong, even though it's not cocaine or marijuana, it's to build up the body, but are drugs wrong? Does the league have a responsibility? I say yes.
I'm flipping on that tone. I think responsibility to parents, to monitor that stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
What they consider these growth hormones as drugs, I don't know.
Okay.
Because, we rebuilding bodies.
Okay.
So, I don't look at it that way.
Okay. All right. Well, let's move on to another topic since we're on the issue of illegal behavior. Your man's son, I can't pronounce his first name.
Sue.
Sue. I don't know his first name, fans. I'm not trying to pronounce it. Let's just going to call him Sue.
Right.
Sue has been fined $100,000. He appealed his fine for an illegal hit on Viking center John Sullivan. Sue's argument is that the fines is too great. But let's look at this man's history. In 4 years in the league, he's been fined 6 times. The fines ranging from $5,000 to $30,000. And in fact, I think he lost about $167,000 in salary. My question to you is, was the fine too harsh?
Well, I didn't see the play, but he has a history, like you said.
Okay.
But is he being a target? I think sometimes he's being a target. He's done some hits that were questionable.
Right.
But, he's not the only one out there doing them either. But they seem to be looking at him more than others.
I think you're right. He is a target. And I think also, too, if you look at, he slammed Jay Cutler into the ground, quarterback.
Right.
He kicked Matt Schaub in the groin, a quarterback. And the league protects quarterbacks.
Right.
So let me ask you this. Is he a target because the league is trying to protect quarterbacks? Or, I'm going to use the R word, is this a racial issue?
Well, I was just thinking that. When they hit the brothers like that, they don't even see it. Mike Vick, he gets beat up every week.
That's true.
Slammed, hit after the play.
That's true.
They don't call anything.
They don't.
So, that's the way I kind of look at it, too.
I'm kind of agreeing with you. I've watched some of the Jets games, and I know Geno Smith is a rookie, but he's a black rookie.
He's a black rookie.
Right. I can remember last year, Andrew Luck and some, so Kev.
We're just going to look at Brady. You just touch Brady with your pinky. They throwing a flag.
And I love Tom Brady. That's my man, but he's the biggest cry. I've never seen a situation where a quarterback can go to the refs and get things changed. We see it in basketball all the time, but not football. That's supposed to be a man's sport.
Right.
But Brady's pretty. He got the pretty wife. You know how that goes. But getting back to Suh. So what you're saying is that you think he's a target, but also could it just be his history? He's got a pattern.
Well, yeah, I think it's his history. That's what's kind of flaming this thing up. And then, of course, they raise the fine each time he does it.
Right. Yeah. That's
but that's a whole lot mixed into that.
I agree.
But as a player, he should be conscious of that too, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. He's been in the league long enough.
Yeah.
So now, since we're talking about illegal behavior, we're going to move over to the NFL and its arrest policy. Alden Smith, San Francisco 49 player, just got arrested this past week for an alleged DUI and marijuana possession. That now makes 38 players, Kev, in 2013 have been arrested. 34 of those players are brothers. My question to you is there a problem in the NFL in terms of arrests? Is it an epidemic?
Not an epidemic.
Okay.
I think some of these guys just are not conscious of what they're doing.
Okay.
7 o'clock in the morning, you still drunk coming home.
Right.
Come on, man. You're NFL. You should be in at a reasonable time. Don't get me, especially during the season.
Right.
And this isn't his first time happening.
No, it's not. And the thing is that most of these arrests are DUIs. You've got some extremes like Aaron Hernandez, of course. But most of these guys are getting arrested for DUI. But I'm going to give you some numbers, Kevin. And I'm going to tell you that I think the media has taken this situation and blown out of proportion. You've got approximately 1,696 players in the NFL. You got 32 teams times 53 players per team. You've had 38 players arrested. Now, you know me. You know I'm a numbers guy. Because when people start talking about there being epidemics, we get all emotional, throw things out of proportion. What do you think the percentage of that is, Kev, per players getting arrested? You don't have to answer. I'm going to tell you. 0.02% of the league's players. To me, it says an epidemic. Okay, here's the other thing. I've read all on the internet. You know what they like to jump on? Well, the majority of these players are black. These black players are thugs. Bob Costas even said, well, a good number of these players come from environments where that kind of behavior is okay. What kind of behavior are you talking about?
Right.
If you're talking about DUIs and drinking, well, we want to go with numbers. Statistically, you got more whites
that drink
in the country that drink than blacks. But let's look at the NFL. So you got more black players. Well, that stands to reason. First of all, the NFL is 67% black. So you're going to have more black people if you're going to look at these numbers that would get involved in that. But let's look at the percentage of black players overall. You got 1,136 black players in the NFL. So that comes to 0.3% of the number of black players arrested. So again, is this an epidemic, Kev?
Not epidemic, but this is like society.
Right.
Anything that happens, there's a small amount of African Americans that may be doing criminal activity, but when they put it on TV, it seems like it refers to all of us.
I'm going to tell you a phrase my wife loves to use. A minority within a minority. And that's what you have. With the NFL, you've got a small... majority of people don't play football. So you've got a small number of people. You've got billions of people on this earth. I think billions. I don't know. Is it billions? I don't know how many people we got on the earth. But you got 1,696 players in the NFL. That's a very small percentage of the total population in the world. So when you look at the percentages of people being arrested, I agree with you, Kev. It's not an epidemic. But here's what you got. You got pampered, privileged athletes who are making a lot of money. People get upset and they feel like they have a responsibility to behave at a certain level. They need to be role models. Well, what did Charles Barkley say?
I'm not a role model.
I'm not a role model. And these guys aren't role models. But the point is that this is what we have. And so my question, the last question on this topic before we move on, before we take a break, is what responsibility does the NFL have to trying to curb these minimal amount of arrests, or the situation where you just got some knuckleheads who just need to straighten up themselves in the NFL, and Goodall don't really have to do anything. What's your take on that, Cat?
Well, I mean, these are grown men making millions of dollars. They have to show some responsibility, but NFL is doing what they can do.
Right.
Like with Alden Smith, they recommended he go into treatment. He went in, and they're supporting that.
Right.
You know, so I mean, that's all they can really do.
I agree with you. That's all they can do. Okay, we're about to take a break. The Armchair View is about to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about one of Kevin and I's favorite sports, the NBA and the NBA's preseason. The Armchair View. I'm Tony Jemison. This is my co-host, Kevin Richardson. We'll be back. Welcome back to the Armchair View. I'm Tony Jemison with my co-host, Kevin Richardson. We're going to talk now about the NBA preseason. It's heating up, and one of the biggest stories is that my man, Kev's man, I think it's Kev's man, Derrick Rose is back. Have you seen any? I watched the internet the other day, saw some clips on ESPN. The Bulls are playing the Pacers. Derrick Rose looked good. Did you happen to see it?
I didn't see it.
Okay, well, he looked good. He was pushing the ball up court. He was dunking. He's added some upper body weight, so he looks back to me. Have you read anything? Have you heard anything about Derrick?
Not since the preseason came up, but we're going back to last season when I don't know, he's going to refuse to go back play, but because of his injury, you know, and I kind of look at it back now like, well, maybe he made a good move back then. Okay,
so when he first did it, how did you feel? Did you feel like he was punking out, that maybe he should have come back to help his teammates?
I felt he was punking out, especially in the playoffs. Yeah, man, in the playoffs.
Okay, now let me ask
he had been sitting all season, Tony.
Okay, Kev.
So it's time for him to come back.
All right, Kev, let me ask you this. You play sports, right? You play football?
Yes.
Have you ever torn your ACL?
Partial torn ligament.
Okay, but did you tear it like Derrick Rose?
No.
So did you come back and play?
I played.
So you played through it?
I played through it.
Oh, so you saying he should have played through it?
Well, I can because, you know, his injury's more severe than mine. I'll admit that. But he had been sitting out the whole season. Now, listen, Tony, he was practicing with the guys.
Okay.
You know, in practice in the playoffs. So why not when you get to playoffs play?
Good point.
He was ready.
Why do you think he didn't play?
Well, I thought he was scared. I thought he was going. I don't know. I guess when you come back from an injury, you're kind of conscious. Okay, I don't want to hurt myself again. But then again, he had his brothers in his ear too.
Okay.
Yo, don't play, man. Let's just wait.
So you think he was scared?
I think he was scared.
Brother from Chicago, Cat.
And
I'm just saying.
You getting that pressure from your fans, your family? Nah, man. Wait. You gonna hurt yourself again? They didn't want to lose no money. They didn't.
See, I like Derrick Rose. See, I don't think he was scared. I think he made the right move, Cat.
Okay, all right. Don't get me wrong. You look back now, yeah, because he sat and he got healthy,
right,
fully healthy,
right,
compared to RG3.
But I understand what you're saying, and I do. Though I disagree with you, I do agree to a certain extent. You got teammates, but here's the thing, Kev. They were not going to beat the Heat anyway. So maybe he did the best move by sitting out. The Bulls were not going to beat the Heat with him there because he wasn't 100%.
You sure?
You think they would have?
They got a better chance.
But you think they would have beat him if he had come back?
Possibly. I'm going to give that to him.
Okay. All right. Well, now let's look this year. Now that he's back, he's added upper body strength. Do you think that he's going to lead the Bulls past the Heat? You got Luol Deng is healthy again. Now, Noah is hurt. And I don't know how long he's going to be out. Okay. But say Noah comes back. Can they get past the Heat and the Pacers? What you think?
Well, those three right there, they're the top. They're going to be the top coming out the East anyway.
Not my Knicks?
No.
They're bums. Huh?
They're going to be bums.
We'll talk
about them down the line.
But you think those three?
The top three.
All right.
Yeah, coming out the East.
Well, the Heat, they've added Michael Beasley. Is that going to help them? And Greg Oden. Is it going to help them?
Greg Oden. Michael Beasley, before Greg Oden.
As long as he's not smoking weed.
Right.
Nah.
Well, go ahead. We'll talk about Beasley.
Greg Oden, I agree. That's a win-win situation for the Heat because they signed him to a minimum. They don't expect him to do much. If he gets hurt, okay, so what? But Beasley's got talent.
Beasley has talent. He's a good player. I remember him coming out of college. He was pretty good.
Right.
I thought he was going to do well in the NBA.
Yeah.
Kind of got lost in there. Went down Miami. Who knows what happened?
Right.
You know.
Right. Then he went out to Minnesota.
Right.
And then he went to Phoenix, didn't he?
Phoenix, then Minnesota.
Phoenix,
right.
Then Minnesota. Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
All right. So you say the top three teams in the East are the Heat, the Bulls, and the Pacers. What about New Jersey? They've added KG and Pierce?
Yeah, they improved a lot. A lot, and they should be at least a playoff team.
But do you think those two are too old to lead them to a championship?
Not too old, but I wouldn't play them too much. I'd limit their playing time. Let's put it like that. Because when they came from Boston, they were wore out.
So will they change the culture there? Because you've got Joe Johnson, doesn't play hard. At least he didn't last year. Deron Williams, he stays hurt, and then he complains all the time. Will KG and Pierce turn them into a tougher team?
I think so, because they bring that professionalism and that heart to the team. I don't care what you say, KG's going to give it to you every night. As long as he can get up and down the floor, along with Pierce.
But will that be enough to run with the young guns of the Pacers, the Bulls, and the Heat?
Yeah, they're going to learn from the pros, professionals, real professionals.
All right.
They'll pick it up.
Jason Kidd is a coach. What you think?
I think a good move. I call it a good move right now. Because he's played the game recently. You know, he knows how the players are. You know, especially young guys. And he has KG and Pierce to help him.
I agree.
Coaches on the floor.
All right. How long do you think it'll be before? We're going to move on from this, but I got to ask you this: how long do you think it will be before Deron Williams is complaining about Jason Kidd? He's a cancer.
I'll give him till January.
Till January.
Yeah. Then he's going to be crying. You know, if it's not enough time, he's not getting the ball enough. And really, they had him playing point last year. I don't know if he's a point guard. He's not a point guard.
He's a two.
Right. So they got to get him out of that position. You know.
Speaking of crybabies, you got the big crybaby down in Houston, Dwight Howard. Will he stop crying this year and lead Houston?
He's not going to lead Houston. He may stop crying.
He's not going to lead them?
No.
Why? Why you say that?
He's not going to. Look, Dwight Howard is soft to me. And Kobe didn't get to say that last year, but he wanted to say it. Right. He's soft.
He is soft.
He couldn't even handle LA. So
no, he can't.
He's down in Houston. He's a forward trying to play center. That's not happening.
And I think what's going to happen with Dwight is that he's going to start complaining that he's not getting the ball enough. Because James Harden takes a lot of shots.
Right.
But, I mean, offensively, James Harden is sad to say, but offensively, he's a better option than Dwight Howard.
Oh.
He's developed no moves in the low post.
Right, none.
He can't shoot free throws. So I don't see them going far. Your man Kobe has no timetable for a return. Does it really matter? The Lakers are old and slow, and Kobe's 35. So when he comes back, they're not beating anybody.
No, they're not. I mean, Kobe, I guess he's just going to ride this wave out. Hopefully he retires after this year.
I think so.
I think he should, though.
And then last but not least, with Central Park in the background, we got my New York Knicks. My Knicks. Why you laughing, Kev? Why you laughing?
Because y'all, New York people always have hope for the Knicks, and they disappoint y'all every year.
We got Melo. You got Shumpert, JR, Tim Hardaway Jr., you got Amari, Chandler. Come on, Kev, the pieces are there.
Who's your big man?
Meta World Peace.
Who?
Even I had to laugh on that one, bro. Even I had to laugh on that one. No, I don't know. I'm being realistic because I'm always told to be realistic. The Knicks aren't going anywhere.
Nah.
They'll make the playoffs because they got talent, but they'll have the same situation as last year. J.R. Smith and Carmelo dominating the ball.
Right.
Isolations. And so what it does is it takes everyone else out of the game.
Right.
You got a guy like Novak who comes off the bench, can spread the floor with the three. They don't run enough plays for him. So you'll have the same situation. This is going to be more of a headache because Hardaway's going to want to play. Shumpert's going to want to play because he's healthy now. Carmelo's going to always want the ball.
Right.
So I don't know. I think, and Woodson is not tough enough to tell Carmelo to sit your behind down and just do what you need to do.
Right.
All right. So now, I want to talk about one more thing. I love him. He's my favorite player of all time. But what is up with Michael Jordan at 50-something years old, not letting it go? Did you watch when he did his Hall of Fame speech?
No,
you didn't see how bitter he was? Drudging up stuff about how when he was cutting high school and how when he went to North Carolina and he had embarrassed Buzz Peterson, and now he still won't let it go. He's doing an interview the other day for NBA 2K. This guy starts talking about how he wanted to play Dr. J one-on-one, and he wanted to play this one-on-one, and now today he wanted to play Melo and LeBron and all this kind of stuff. Then he goes on to say he could beat all them guys, especially LeBron, but he couldn't beat Kobe because Kobe stole all the moves. He's like a little kid. I'm watching him, and Kobe stole all my moves. I'm like, Mike, grow up.
So you got to remember,
what's the problem?
Mike
What's the problem?
Has a competitive spirit. he's always been like that. Mike is competitive. You've seen him on the floor.
Okay, Ken.
You know, he's just a competitive person. So the things he wants to do, you know, he's going to, you know, say it.
Okay, Ken.
And he's right about Kobe.
All right. Magic Johnson's competitive. He's moved on. You know, Larry Bird's competitive. He moved on. Michael Jordan's got a problem. He came back to play for the Wizards. He's got a problem. He needs to move on. That's all I want to say. We could talk all day, and I love him. Mm-hmm. Kev, I can't. Kev.
That's my man too, though.
Oh, that's your man.
I like Mike.
Okay,
yeah.
he needs.
I like Mike.
He's immature.
Yeah, he'll be okay.
Oh, he'll be all right. We're gonna talk about him more throughout the season.
Okay.
Because you know he'll be butting his nose in something.
Of course.
You know, with the hoop earring. You need to talk to your man. He's too daggone old.
Mike's a free spirit.
He's a free spirit. Okay, whatever. He needs to grow up.
Smoking his big stove.
Yeah, I know.
On the golf course.
I know, with his big pot belly, but he needs to let it go. All right, it's the Armchair View. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to finish our segment today with NFL predictions. Kevin and I are going to go down the list and give you your hot picks, and we're going to talk about NFL Week 6. The Armchair View. I'm Tony Jemison, my co-host Kevin Richardson. The Armchair View is back. I'm Tony Jemison, my co-host Kevin Richardson. We're going to talk about Week 6 in the NFL. Well, Kev, we're almost a third of the way in. And any surprises? Anything you see that stands out to you?
Oh, besides the Giants losing. I mean, you know, being 0-6, 0-5 at this point, that's critical.
I think you just like to pick on New York because I'm from New York.
Nah, man, I used to like the Giants,
okay.
man. I'm a Giants fan.
Okay,
Giants fan.
All right. Well, we got some key games this week. New Orleans and New England. What you think? What's going to happen? They're playing in New England, so what's your take?
New Orleans is going to win.
Okay. By a lot?
I give you at least 14.
Ooh.
2 touchdowns at least.
Ooh.
Remember, the Saints defense is playing well, too.
They are. And Brady, I love Tom Brady. That's my team, but he has no receivers.
None.
And so I would have to agree with you on that one. Oakland and Kansas City. What do you think? They're playing at KC.
Yeah, I know. I like Oakland, but I'm taking Kansas City.
Why? Chiefs defense?
Yeah, the defense.
Okay.
Doing good.
Do you think the Chiefs pass defense is not good? I'm sorry. Yeah, the Chiefs pass defense is not good. Can Terrell Pryor, can he throw against him? Or is he too young, too green, going to be too nervous in the big? Because this is a big game.
This is a big game, but Terrell, I think he's ready, though. He's poised. You know, I don't think it's going to be any pressure on him. Thing is, will he have enough time?
Okay.
The Chiefs' defensive line, they're good.
Yeah, they are good.
So, you know, that's going to be their first thing they got to get by.
Final score?
28-10.
Ooh, you only giving Oakland 10 points?
That's it. That's it.
Okay. Green Bay at Baltimore. We talked about that earlier, but, you know, we have to, for the sake of the Baltimore fans, have to give a prediction. I say they're going to get blown out.
I'm taking Green Bay.
By how many?
I'm going to say 2 touchdowns. 14.
So will it be a high scoring 2 touchdowns or be a low scoring?
It's going to be a high scoring. The Ravens will catch up at the end when the Packers let up.
So what you think, like 38 to
38-21,
something like that. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah.
But Green Bay's pass defense is weak. Can Flacco throw against him?
No, he's not gonna have enough time.
He's not, and I think and I don't think the running game is going to transform over the weekend. And so because of that, they know he's going to have to throw. And you're right, he's not going to have enough time.
He's not gonna have time, right?
And he doesn't have Anquan Bolden to bail him out. And so he's going to have problems.
Somebody got to step up, though.
Somebody's got to step up.
Ed Dixon needs to start catching the ball.
Somebody's got to step up. I got you.
But they need to look at Brown. I don't know if Brown's playing this weekend, but he could be a factor.
Yeah, I don't know if he's playing either. When is...
Jacoby's coming back this week.
He's coming back this week?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Washington and Dallas. You know, that's always a big game here in the D.C. area. But they're playing in Dallas. Romo and company had a heartbreaking loss last week. Can they rebound against RG3?
I think they'll win. Dallas will win.
Close game?
At home. Close game, though.
Will they score all the points like they did last week?
Nah, they'll probably score no more than 28.
Okay.
But Washington, they're not going to do that good this week.
Will Dallas be able to stop Alfred Morris?
No, Alfred's going to have a good game, I think.
Even though they know RG3 probably won't run, you don't think they'll be able to key on him more?
Nah, because they're going to be looking probably at the receivers trying to stop them from throwing the ball. Because RG's going to be throwing the ball.
And you know, stats show if he throws over 30 times, they
don't win.
Right.
So they got Washington has to run the ball.
Okay, I got here on the list Jacksonville and Denver. I think it's a foregone conclusion who's going to win. My question is,
by how much?
And how many touchdowns is Peyton Manning going to throw this week?
I give them 4.
You give them 4.
Yeah, they're gonna take him out the game early.
You think so?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. I mean, why? Why keep him in the
Jacksonville,
game?
yeah, that game probably be over in the first quarter.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I would agree with you there. Okay, Pittsburgh at the Jets.
What you gonna say? I'm taking Pittsburgh to get them win.
Yes. In
Yes.
New York?
Yes.
As bad as Pittsburgh is playing?
Yes.
Okay.
They get it. Heath Miller's back.
Okay.
Heath is back. He's going to be a big factor in the middle for them.
But they're playing New York, so that gives the rookie Geno Smith a comfort zone, and not playing against the old Pittsburgh Steelers. Now I know you like the Steelers, but I don't know, Kev.
I think Jets shot their load last week.
Is this a must-win for Tomlin?
Well, definitely every win now he needs.
It's a must.
Every game he needs to win every game coming in now.
Okay.
Right.
All right. All right, let's go on to making our predictions. This is the segment I call Tony and Kev's predictions. Let's look at this list. Cincinnati at Buffalo.
Cincinnati.
By how much?
By 10.
Why?
Good defense.
Okay.
Dalton's going to have a good game. AC Green is going to have a good game.
All right. Detroit at Cleveland.
I think I'm going to take Cleveland.
Okay. All right. Why?
And they're like a factor nobody's looking at.
Okay.
You know, they lost Trent Richardson. They came out the next game and won. So you know their defense is pretty good.
Okay,
which is going to help score some points for them. So I'm looking at them to win.
I agree with you. We talked about Oakland and Kansas City.
Right.
Pittsburgh the Jets. We talked about them. Philly at Tampa Bay. Are they going to win? Foles is going to start. Vic is probably not going to play. I know it's Tampa Bay, but your Eagles are inconsistent.
Well, let me just say this. Tampa Bay doesn't have much coming. They got a rookie quarterback.
Okay.
That's going to be playing. Defense isn't playing well. They're kind of in an unorganized situation. And from my understanding, they got a lot of players that are not liking the coaches.
Okay.
So Tampa Bay is in disarray. So I'm taking the Eagles
Let me ask you this.
By 14 points.
Let me ask you this. Let's say the Eagles start off badly. Foles is not playing well. Is Kelly going to pull Foles and put Vic in?
No, not this game.
You think he'll
we don't need Mike to play this game.
Okay.
No, we can ride this out.
What's the Eagles' record?
Well, we 2-3.
Y'all need to win.
But let me just say this.
Okay.
We're tied for first place in our conference.
And you're in the NFC East.
We're tied for first place.
That's I want to use a cuss word.
We can win our conference
because that's a daggone shame.
We can win our conference.
You 2-3, and that's sad. Y'all can go 8-8 and probably win the conference.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I agree with you there. We talking about Green Bay and Baltimore, St. Louis and Houston.
Houston.
You like the
Texans?
Texans?
Because he's at Houston. I like Texas.
Like the Texans.
Schaub has a better game than he's been having.
I agree with you.
No interceptions this game.
Denver game, we know. Tennessee and Seattle. Seattle lost last week. Everybody kept talking about Seattle was going to go undefeated. The great Russell Wilson. I'm going to tell you something about it. I like Russell Wilson. I like him. But I don't think he's a god that everybody makes him out to be. What do you think?
They'll win this week. But like I said, I think teams are becoming familiar with him and how he plays. Last week, they kept him in the box.
Absolutely.
You know, because when he starts rolling out, that's his game.
That's his game.
But last week, they didn't give him that opportunity.
They kept him contained, so he couldn't roll to the left or to the right.
Right.
And, you know, he's still learning.
Oh, yeah.
Right. San Francisco is playing Arizona. San Francisco appears to be a little bit on a roll. They won 2 in a row, and they've blown teams out. Is Kaepernick and that offense back?
They're not back to their full potential, but they're getting there.
Okay.
Last week, Davis had a good game. He spread, Kaepernick spread the ball around.
Right.
The running game took over.
Right.
Gore had a great game.
Yeah.
So they're getting it together now.
What do you think about Gore calling out Harbaugh? Remember, he had, I think, a few carries. He called him out. He said he needed to carry the ball more. Was that a good move on his part?
Well, evidently it was. He got more carries last game. It worked.
Should he have been fined for calling his coach out like that publicly?
No. I mean, it's a team thing.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And my thing is coaches call out players all the time publicly, so why can't you? Especially when the players make more money.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. New Orleans and New England, you say New Orleans is going to win. I'm telling you, Brady's going to be back. He's going to be throwing touchdowns like crazy. Yeah, I know so.
Okay.
That's my man.
Okay.
You just don't like him. That's all
I love Brady. He's in my fantasy league. Yeah.
Okay.
He's my fantasy league quarterback.
But you just don't see it happening.
Nah. They're not as strong as they used to be as in the past.
That's true. We talked about Washington and Dallas. Monday Night Football. The Colts of San Diego. Phillip Rivers and Andrew Luck. What you think?
Colts will take them out. I like San Diego. I like Phillip Rivers, but their defense isn't good, and they don't have a good running game.
They don't.
The Colts will shut down their passing game.
So there it is, fans. Kevin and Tony's predictions. You can take these to the bank, and whatever money you win, make sure you spread it to us. I can give you my, no, I'm not going to give you my email address. I don't want you crazy fans sending us stuff. But these are our predictions. I think they're good. And next week, we're going to discuss our percentages. Just like the Swami on ESPN, we're going to do the same thing, except we're better, because this is the Armchair View, a show you've never seen before with Tony Jemison, Kevin Richardson. We keep it real here. You notice that? We say what we want to say. We talk. I mean, I talked about Michael Jordan and his hoop earring. Who does that?
Leave Mike alone.
Okay, I'll leave him alone. He needs to get a life. The Armchair View. We'll see you next week. Tony Jemison.
Kevin Richardson.
We love you guys. We'll see you next week. The Armchair View. Good job.